Yeah, I've just been jiving to this particular theme for a while now. Welcome back. Just got to set everything back up, and slight awkward little thing for me. I did actually well, I say grind off screen. It's more just sort of lowering the heart gauges of all the various Pokemon available, which you can probably see as we look over here. This is what we're working with. I didn't do it with all of them. I just did it with the ones which I I'm most likely going to be using, but then I realized that's what the whole next portion of the game is for, so here's what we're going to do instead. I already have all the Pokemon that I'm going to use for the team lined up. They're all have their heart gauges all ready and whatnot, so I'm just going to have one overshadow Pokemon in the lead, and then just have that decrease its heart gauge over time. Seems simple enough to me, and hopefully everyone else is still gonna get EXPs, but don't count on it. Just gonna go with that for the time being. Actually, which of these do you reckon has the lowest in the heart gauge? Yeah, it's definitely Quack. I'm fairly certain that Quack will probably be all set to go once we've managed to get through this this whole Colosseum bit. Oddly enough, the only time one of these is actually required. All the other times are like optional for level grinding and whatnot, which is definitely appreciated. Anyways, here we are. Need to get my my voice ready and willing for this. Hello, welcome to the Pyrite Colosseum. Would you like to join a knockout challenge? You seem oddly well dressed for an establishment that looks like this. Almost seems a bit more like a Disney attraction. Remember how gritty this music is, and then you just hear this up. Yeah, it is a little bit of a disconnect, don't it? Hogan doesn't really showcase the art society of their miserable scrap metal shantytown anymore. Yeah. I suppose it's just one of those things where they just sort of prefer to glaze over it, just sort of sweep it under the rug. You know, we got all this wondrous, like, teleportation digital technology over here, and we got holograms. What do you mean we got towns which are literally made out of scrap metal? Alright, let's just get in there. Aim for victory. There was one thing that I wanted to particularly get into here, but I think I'm best off just waiting for more people to show up, because I have had something on my mind a little bit, especially with regards to some interesting comments that have been made with regards to official Pokemon Company staff. More so, I believe it was the directors for Gen 9 and 10 DLC who are going to be working on Gen 10. I suppose I may as well get the ball rolling here as we just look at this guy and his ground type team. You'd think that's something you think with a team like that. Okay, so we don't have to. You know what? We're gonna showcase off something real quick since we're here. Just gonna showcase something off as we. Aeroflex seemed like the smart choice here. I want to actually try using screens this time. Probably a waste of the turn to use it on XP, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm probably just gonna throw reflect and whatnot on Meganium when I get the chance. My fans want to see parts of the world in an ideally Fun City region. Yeah. I suppose it's something which I kind of miss about the fact about when we did actually used to get like side games like this one, is that you have a greater idea slash insight into a lot of areas which the main games wouldn't really dare to explore. I suppose it's just another curse of the mobile games here. Just you don't really tend to get many side games like this anymore because it's all been ported to mobile. But the most you'll get is just like, hey, you remember this being ported to Switch 2? That was pretty neat, right? Oh, what's that? Do you want to transfer these over to your other games via Pokemon Bank? No. No. Oh, here we go. The ball is officially rolling, and you can probably see that. At the very least in the early game, lots of Pokemon moves don't really count for Ghost types because there's only one in the game. So now we get to see it in all its glory. Observe. I was just rip and tear for this poor Barboach. Level 30, so yeah, it seems as though Espion and Umbreon at the very least are a little bit behind on levels. I'm gonna have to fix that. I think the play here is just have at least one of the two main starters up at the front, up at the lead, and just switch out the one which has least experience, meaning Espion's probably going to be in the lead for a while now. Kind of interesting that Secret Power always seems to convert to Needle Arm in this game, I've just noticed. I mean, I didn't obviously know what the move was back when I first played this in 2004, but I see it and I see what it's compared to in Ruby Sapphire, and it's like, yeah, that's Needle Arm. Kind of a weird choice, I suppose, because this whole place is a big desert. I guess that's the logic. So we've got a long, long way to go. Yeah, a whole 3 battles. I suppose speaking of that, though, interesting little bit of a comment that I've heard with regards to, I suppose, the later games in relationship to Pokemon Champions, and the prospect that, the newer games will indeed be deviating more and more from the traditional formula. Now that I suppose Champions exists as like a an avenue for the VGC. Like that's like your hub essentially for all your classic competitive Pokemon. Meaning that I suppose in a way I don't really mind it. It's sort of something that I sort of anticipated slash had a feeling would crop up eventually. The prospect... Oh, this music's real weird as well. Yeah, the prospect that... you may have to forgive me here, I'm tired after work, after a long day's work. Back in the office again as usual. Yeah, I had a feeling that they would start deviating from the classic formula now that we do have this hub of the sort of classic Pokemon turn-based battles, and I suppose in a way it's their way of also curating a competitive space for the classic style, because obviously from what we're seeing, they aren't afraid to apply buffs and nerfs to various Pokemon when need be. I think a good example of this, obviously, a good example of this being Incineroar in Champions, with them getting rid of 2 of its arguably most prominent moves in U-turn and knockoff. It's like back in Gen 8 and 9, and I guess 7 as well, you had Incineroar, and you always ran it, there's Hyper Mode. You tend to run it, obviously those varieties you can do, but the main one you used to see all the time was a more bulky set consisting of, let's see, I think it was knockoff, U-turn, fake out, and awesome, most likely Firebirds on an Assault Vest set. And I know that a lot of people are kind of upset about the lack of proper item choice at the start of Champions' launch. Like you got barely any choice items. You didn't get like Assault Vest or Life Orb. I imagine just sort of starting off at a quote-unquote lower power level was their sort of means of allowing some Pokemon to see some play before they started bringing in the sort of really big ones. I think a good example of that again as well is the fact that we have almost every Mega every Mega there is in Champions now, aside from Rayquaza, obviously, who's probably never going to be his heart's full of dark. Indeed. Yeah, obviously Rayquaza is probably not going to end up in Champions, unless they actually do end up doing sort of limited team setups a la what you see in VGC near the end of a generation, where you're allowed 2 legendaries and that's all. I mean, you're usually just using, you know, Mega Rayquaza, Primal Groudon, Zacian, Groudon, Kyogre, Calyrex Shadow, that's etc, etc, just that sort of ballpark of insanely overpowered Pokemon, and I'm not certain if we're ever going to get that in Champions now that I think about it. But I kind of hopes not, honestly, because I'm going to be honest, I kind of feel as though, I don't know, it feels as though I've sort of had a stickling for legendaries being used in battles, just never exactly seemed fair to me, which is ironic considering, I'm having some second thoughts about that. It's like one of those things where as a kid you didn't really care because, you know, it's your playthrough, you play it how you want. You want to go, and get the level 70 Rayquaza to just basically sweep through the entirety of Emerald, go right ahead. And now it's just like, yeah, you could do that if you really want it. Oh yeah. Probably gonna take the headphones off. It's just a little bit of an echo. Let me just turn that down. Oh, that is as far down as it goes. I did turn down the volume on Elgato a little bit further this time around, so let me know if it's a little bit too quiet for you. I know, honestly, it still seems a little bit loud to me, but maybe that's just the game in general. Yeah, I think it's just that I've just had for the longest time the stick thing against using legendaries, that it's just sort of become ingrained. It's like a habit I need to break. Potentially, I don't know. Probably doesn't matter too much at the end of the day. People are just gonna use what they like and what they think is the strongest, so Mega Rayquazas for everybody. Yeah, I think we could just absolutely crush it. It is kind of crazy that we got a Pokemon with Cross Chop this early. I mean, I know this entire game is quite difficult, but I don't know. Focus Energy and Cross Chop, that's a pretty spicy combo, if you ask me. No, it's not that accurate, but look at the results! One thing that I did find kind of interesting about this sort of comments in regards to the battle system is, I'm probably going to have to look it up again to sort of remind myself, but they mentioned something about how it seems as though the battle system over time has changed and not for the better. Let me just see if I can find the quote here, because it seems pretty interesting. I want to see if I can get a little bit of insight, because obviously the battle system has basically been the same since the start of since the start back in like 1996. Let's see the reasoning, aside from, you know, just wanting to shake things up a little now that they can break free because of the hub that is Champions. Okay, so they say stuff about wanting to take on new challenges in the series, and that, they say stuff about— I can't believe this game ripped— Hush, Neuven, hush. We didn't have any of these sorts of Colosseums in Legends Are. Anyways. Once again, biblically accurate Vexy. Unfortunately, they won't be here this evening. They let me know in advance. Bit unfortunate, but hopefully they'll turn up at another point. Oh, I remember this fight from another particular playthrough of this game. Obviously, we gotta get Mischievous out front here, because it's going to be very funny what happens next. Yeah, kind of wild that she seems to get hardly any experience with Espio now. Maybe it's just, I'm sure this will change over time, but I guess it's just because the other Pokemon in my team is just eating up all of the juicy XPs. I imagine when they say that the battles have changed over time, not for the better. I imagine it's sort of down to a multitude of different factors. I mean, partially it's just people are more familiar with the mechanics of the game, and another thing obviously is the prospect that I'm not sure if it's just purely because of changes to sort of bring the game in more of a competitive mindset, but from what I recall, you aren't really suffering as much from status effects anymore, because I think that was a thing with a rather infamous VGC match. Let me just have a look here, because I know that's what ended up getting Will-O-Wisp buffed. I want to see if I can find the thing here, because I know for a fact that, I know for a fact that its accuracy got buffed after, a particular sort of shenanigan where I think it's just the case that one particular player just kind of got screwed over by RNG. Let's have a look-see. I'm trying to... Like, I know it was a thing, I'm just trying to find it. I think it's the case that the player just missed his Will-O-Wisp like 3 times in a row. And then got like, I want to say it was either paralyzed or flinch hacked into losing. I'm trying to look it up now. I don't remember all the details. Oh, here we go. I think I may have found it. Just want to read through real quick to just make sure it's the real one. Oh, an actual steel type. Okay, I think it was just missed Will-O-Wisp a couple times and then got done in by a crit. I think that was it. Again, you're free to look it up and correct me if I'm wrong, but obviously RNG is increasingly being minimized in the game is sort of my point. That, and I think everyone's already hopped on this for like ages and ages, the EXP share. And the fact that it's mandatory now, I mean... I don't mind it too much with regards to sort of a convenience thing. Obviously, I think it was, the XP was handled best sort of in Gens 7 and 6, where at the very least it was optional, so it's like, you know, if you actually wanted a bit of a challenge, you could turn the XP share off and just, have at it. The only thing is that, it didn't really balance the game around the fact that all of your Pokemon could be, like... getting all this experience, so just I can't really say from experience with stuff like Sword and Shield, but I suppose at the very least by the end of Scarlet and Violet, from what I recall, it was a little bit better. Just a little bit better, though. I think I was a little bit too overleveled for that. It has been a while, though, so I don't necessarily remember that much. Unfortunately, oh, that's the fight over. Good things could be in store for you. Well, kind of unfortunate the Quagsire didn't get didn't get his heart unlocked, but we still have a little bit of a ways to go.
Congratulations, you're the champion. You battled fabulously. Please accept your cash prize of 4848. As a victory prize, please also accept this TM06.
Heck yeah, we actually get... Still annoyed that you didn't get this in Gale of Darkness till post-game. It's like Umbreon's like one good move in this game. And needless to say, that's going directly on Umbreon. That's going to... Oh, that's basically what it's going to be doing. It's going to be on Toxic duty. Get ready for it. Let's see. Yeah, we can get rid of Secret Power. You know, because Needle, I'm fairly certain, also has a chance of poison, but why would you do that when you could just, go for the better poison? This is a complete mystery to me. Let's see. Yeah, still a little ways to go. Quirky nature, though. It's kind of unfortunate that also comes with damp, so, Oh, Vel finally arrived, just so it's done talking about, a lot of the new stuff with regards to the potential new changes in Gen 10, which music is such a bop. Oh, definitely. So many different tracks in this game are bops. Sassy nature. I suppose that's one thing which I've sort of been missing out on with regards to my Pokemon playthroughs. It's just, I know a lot of people tend to sort of assert personalities onto their party as they play. Another particular Colosseum Let's Play immediately springs to mind with that fact, particularly involving these two weird fluffin' doggos. You know, it's just looking at these ones, just coming up with ideas more than anything, because I don't know, it feels kind of funny that Umbreon gets Brave Nature, just sort of the epitome of fluff it we ball. Which, I suppose in that regard, I may have an idea as to what to do for its moveset. It's probably gonna suck. As a defense, it's probably going to be really, really funny. Probably won't be for a little bit though, so let's just get a move on. Hello.
Oh, hi there. You must be the superb trainer that emerged triumphant in our latest battle challenge. Mirror B, the Troun's true mover and shaker, wishes you have a gorgeous gift. Now follow me.
Walking very slowly into this obviously shady-looking building. I'm kind of surprised this place hasn't been condemned, but then again, all of Pyrite looks as though it needs to be condemned.
Right, I'm back with our latest challenge champion. Let's present our lucky winner with a shadow Pokemon. Watch Chaos Unleashed. Oh, nice one. Our new champ is quite the appealing charmer. It's quite a nice change from the parade of macho musclemen. Wait, this can't be happening. This guy, he's that stent guy that Mirror's Bee's been carrying on about. What? That same guy who messed with us in FedAc? God, I didn't know that when I let him in here. I'll boot you back out.
You let me in the door. You invited me in, and now I'm like a vampire. I have come to suck. As in, remove your shadow Pokemon from your possession. I'm sure that works a little bit better, and lo and behold. Good, our first catch of the day. It's like, you should have known that's what I was going for. Ooh, I think Quagsire is actually very nearly... Also, like a vampire come to suck that you can fight and get smacked with the... You know what I'm going on about, right? Also, yeah, bug type. This might not end well. The midi... Oh, they are midis, aren't they? It's like they would... I suppose that's one nice little change of pace going into like 2005 when they realized this game, oh yeah, we're on a CD, we can use actual instruments now. I know, it feels as though, especially in the early days, they're still sort of shaking off the cobwebs from the N64 sound chip. Not so nice when the shoe's on the other foot, eh? Okay. I am kind of nervous. I reckon just Shadow Rush. I'm fairly certain I shouldn't knock out Yanma that badly, right? Actually, better idea. Better idea. Just gonna reflect. There you go. That's why you bring Mischievous, because for some reason... It's like it's both immune to normal fighting and ground types, so it's like immune to 3 types and people keep trying to target it with that. I guess presumably because it thinks that's their strongest attack. And look where that's getting him now. You know, Nincada is one Pokemon which I always kind of felt bad for. I suppose in sort of a weird, strange way. You know what, sure, just Helping Hand. I know, it's just like the entire Ninja/Ninja 9. It's definitely an interesting one, but it's just one which you only really nowadays pay attention to Ninjask, and this is the strongest Mischievous ever built. I should probably, if this was a shiny, I would probably nickname this thing Apocrypha. You know, just for the meme. It's like, back in the day, it seems as though people would only really pay attention to Ninjask just for the Baton Pass meme, but even then, you don't really tend to see Baton Pass anymore, because it's just... I mean, not because it's fallen out of fashion, I think it's more just sort of, it's more frowned upon by most people. If they just see how powerful Baton Pass can truly be, and it's just like, yeah, this just kind of just sucks to fight against. I'm kind of surprised that, but it's probably something I'm gonna have to look into. Is Baton Pass in Champions? Because I would be very surprised if it was. I mean, yeah, it's been a nice sort of pivoting tool for certain Pokemon, but at the same time, it's just been this whole problematic thing. I mean, yeah, it's still in Scarvi, but let's see, is it in Champions? It is in Champions. Why? It's like one of the. It's like one of the moves that they got rid of Pursuit, but they kept Baton Pass. I don't really get it either. You know what, we can just go for Focus Energy, it's fine. You know what, now that I think about it, fluff it. I'm just gonna throw one. I'm just gonna throw one and see what happens. You know, I think it's just because, that's a good point, actually. Bug types still don't have any good moves in this game. It's like, I'm trying to think, what are some good, like, bug type moves in Gen 3? I'm just gonna have to go and look now. Because it's like, I don't think any of the good bug moves really only appeared till Gen 4 with stuff like Bug Buzz and X-Scissor. Let's have a look. It's a Gen 3 attack dex. Let's see what bug type moves are. 1, 2. Oh, that's not. There's 10 total bug moves in this game. And I'm fairly certain the only ones which are like universally shared out are like String Shot and maybe Theory Cutter. It's bad, because just thinking in terms of actually like quote-unquote good bug-type moves in here. I mean, Tail Glow, that's just on Volbeat and Illumise. Twin Needle... That's not good, so... The only I suppose the only like 3 decent bug-type moves in this game are Signal Beam, Silver Wind, and Mega Horn. Let's have a look at each of the ones and see what Pokemon could potentially learn them. The answers may surprise you. Let's see, Pokemon that can learn, say, Signal Beam. So we got Volbeat, Dugong, by breeding Venomoth, Spinarak, Ariados, and Yanma. So I guess Yanma can learn Signal Beam. Just not this Yanma, unfortunately. Let's see, Silverwind, so Butterfree, Venomoth, Beautiful Eye, Dustox, Masquerain, so just all the butterfly Pokemon, and then Cypher, Bloody Beline, also Yanma. Scizor, obviously, then Incada line, and Volbeat and Demise, and then Mega Horn, which, obviously, Rhyhorn, Rhydon, Heracross, Nidoking, Goldeen, and Sea... It's like Goldeen and Seaking get Mega Horn, but not something like Pinsir. I'm gonna have to double-check this, because I'm fairly certain Pinsir just doesn't get any bug types attacks in this gen. I mean, not that it matters, we're not gonna be seeing that many Pinsirs, but it's just so funny to me. Okay, let's have a look at Pinsir. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't learn a single bug type move. It's all... I think this is just more in line with the Gen 1 moveset, but it just doesn't learn a single bug type move. It's mostly just normal and fighting types. It's like, you know, you got Guillotine, you got Brick Break, you get Sword Dance. Is there a single bug type? No, it doesn't learn a single bug type move. After we snag up, this game feels so buggy. This world is really so tiny, even though you get to the reused Coliseum Stadium models. I'm presuming you mean big, right? I mean, to be fair, it may just be me, but I always felt this region was kind of small compared to some of the other gens. Primarily just due to its nature, just the fact that you aren't really traveling between areas. It's more just sort of a teleport more than anything. You know what? You know, we're just gonna be here for a while. I don't trust any of my Pokemon to knock this Yanma out. That's the problem. Oh, never mind, we got it. There we go, we got Yanma. And then I can now swap out Quag and just leave it in the box. I'm surprised you managed to win the tournament! Ugh. It's useless, I don't stand a chance of winning. Now hold on, you're the one who brought him here. I know, the female Cypher peons in this game also kind of reminded me of Jessie, mostly just because they also have long hair.
Oh, you're Cypher. I heard you entered this building. It had me worried. King, this is where they were giving Shadow Pokemon to the winners of the battle challenges. Shadow Pokemon? Those ferocious Pokemon that attack even people? Yes, they're giving away Shadow Pokemon to fucks for some reason. It doesn't look good. Are they using the Colosseum to do that? The big lady, my Papa's Pokemon was taken away by Mirror B as a prisoner. He did what? Mirror B would use a dirty move like that? It's Papa's Plusle. I'm so worried that they might be mean to it. It's humiliating, but with Plusle on their filthy hands, my own hands are tied. He's not getting away with this, that rotten Mirror B. But we're here now. We'll get Plusle back for you, right, Stent?
Well, I suppose I have no other choice. Villains of this game almost match Jessie for crazy hair. I'd say even beyond that, honestly, because you got... I suppose it's up for debate, considering apparently Jessie's hair can stand still regardless of where she's facing nowadays.
I know I can always count on you, Stent. Duking, it's dangerous inside this building. You gotta get everyone out to safety.
Thanks for everything. I have to depend on you. I'll have no choice. Be careful always. Mirror might look like a clown, but his battling's all business. Him with his funky mustache. Alright, don't mind me. I'm just going to casually waltz... I was going to say waltz over to the people.
What do you think you're doing here?
I'm rolling through your building, Pike. You got a problem with that? Let's see what... I don't remember if this guy even has Shadow Pokemon. That's one thing I remember being quite annoying about this building. The fact that every time you come in here, you have to refight all the trainers. I suppose it's nice and as a means of getting all the Shadow Pokemon that you may potentially miss, but at the same time, it's like... Do we really have to fight you again? Well, Bayleaf hasn't had that much experience. Let's get Bayleaf out here for a sec. Okay, he only has 2. Only 2 Pokemon to your name, huh? I suppose it's just not one of these scenarios. Just looking at this is like, oh hey, it's Tailo. I remember Tailo, and it's just next to this other Pokemon. I think that's generally just a lot of the problem people had back in the day with Gen 5. Because I know a fair few people who grew up with Pokemon alongside me. Mostly with Gen 3 and 4 who just sort of stopped after Gen 5. I think the main reason was the fact that the total amount of new Pokemon seemed overwhelming. Which I know is sort of just an argument that gets thrown around a lot that a lot of more defensive fans I've seen tend to get a fair bit obtuse about. But especially given how old I am now, I can definitely see it being kind of difficult to keep up, because it's like, you know, you enjoyed like the first couple of games, and then you take a break from it, and then you look back, and all of a sudden there's like 500 more of the damn things. And you're just like, you know what, I just can't be bothered. I can kind of get that. Also, also funny that his rollerblades are consisting mostly of pentagons. How are you supposed to roll on those? I just imagine just getting on the ground. Yoink. An Ein file. Oh, this is an Ansem report. Hyper mode. Shadow Pokemon, perhaps of their own overwhelming power, may behave abnormally at times. Be engaged in such behavior as ignore orders, even turning on their own trainers in battle. There's a side named Hyper Mode. On the plus side, Hyper Mode raises the crit ratio of Shadow Rush. However, Hyper Mode also prevents the use of items on the Pokemon. Just had a Pavlov response and... Oh. Yeah, I think I fixed the notifications now. They should work now, but I don't necessarily have that much control over how loud they get, unfortunately. Hyper Mode is easily spelled. Simply call the Pokemon by name. However, this method has a major drawback.
Calling the shadow Pokemon's name causes the closed door of its heart to loosen and even open. Further research is urgently needed. It was pretty loud when I meant my brain going pig. Yeah, I could definitely see that. You know what, just for the sake of it. There you go. Well, that seems important. I wonder who this Ein fellow could possibly be. Alright, let's see which one of these has the lowest amount of gauge. I'm presuming it's... Okay, I've already done with Fluffy, so... Fluffy can just, move over here for the time being. We're looking mostly at Longboy, Noctowl, and etc. Okay, it's Skiploom. Skiploom's coming up to the front now. Today's your lucky day, Skiploom. You actually get to engage in a fight. Even if this means that 2/3 of my team are weak to bugs. Lonely nature. I can definitely see a lot of people using Jumpluff in this game, mostly just for sleep support. Howdy, Nordic. We're just getting into the swing of things. Usually I've given the Shadow Pokemon frowny faces or angry eyes or something. I imagine they didn't necessarily have that much time to implement that. Anyways, let the gauntlet begin. It's kind of crazy to think this rundown building and eventually becomes the ONBS building in Gale of Darkness. Out of order! How am I supposed to get my Sodigogs now? Alright, whatever. Pokemon are looking for the chance to go wild. Booyah! I'm fairly certain Gates... I'm not thinking Code Gates? I know, I'm fairly certain there's like an anime with a similar name. Let me just see if I can look up the name, because it sounds familiar. Even I know it's obviously just another name that they pulled out of the Scrabble bag. So, oh hey, and Larvitar. It's like, oh, if I only had a Grass-type move. Oh wait, I do. Oh, Common Rider Geeks, that was it. I think I was looking at the wrong thing, because I know that Kamen Rider got thrown around a fair bit at one point. Never really got the chance to sit down and watch for a lot of it. Kind of a shame, really. It's one of those things where it's like, you know, this would be nice to sit down and watch while I'm at work, and it's just like, oh wait, I'm working, so I probably shouldn't be watching it. Just sort of that whole catch-22 thing. Anyways, this is not gonna end well for you, my friends. Definitely imagine Bayleaf here just sort of being the heart and soul of the team. Like, come on, fellas, I believe in you! Yeah, I know, it's sort of... Maybe just be a sort of, dark way... A lot of managers of a certain game most people focusing on work. Let's just say dumb video... Yeah, I suppose that's a good way of putting it. Been listening to a fair few Comics Archive videos, recently, to sort of, while away the hours. Fair few funny moments, and like, I think there was one just going over the current state of the game, mostly after more recent updates, and implemented into it was like a parody version of, a certain Team America song, just, ranting about, the Into the Unjust update and how much it sucked. I need to look at the lyrics for that one again, because I remember the lyrics to the other one. Probably gonna need a swig in order to sort of replicate it. I miss you more than Michael Bay missed the mark when he made Pearl Harbor. Into the Unjust was definitely a low... Oh, I think that's basically just become synonymous with a lot of people. I mean, there was definitely a lot of cool ideas in Into the Unjust, but, just needed more time in the oven, man. And, like, Unjust, we're like the... Yeah, I think it's more so, the fact that, it just didn't really perform all that well. Just a lot of glitches, a lot of just, I think especially with the caves, you just have those sort of instances where you call in your stratagems and they just get stuck on the cave ceiling and you're just kind of screwed. I mean, it was definitely a cool concept, it just needed more time in the oven to sort of iron out all the unwanted bugs.
The bugs that aren't supposed to be there. Different little point of the game. Yeah, exactly. It's just performance as opposed to the actual concept. It's just another case of cool concept executed horribly. To the point where they straight up just removed it from the game. Let's see. You know, I think Makuhita. I suppose this is just sort of a nice thing where you could just sort of mess around with team comp a little bit, get experience going. Definitely going to have to switch an Umbreon at some point, because I imagine that it's probably... I mean, it's probably not going to put out as consistent damage as Espeon for obvious reasons, but hey, it gets toxic now. It's gonna be putting in work either way, even if it just doesn't... Oh. Makuhita, I'm sorry. I'll probably have to look it up and put it in the VC for later. Just I heard that and this made my heart smile because I did definitely enjoy that particular song in Team America. I need you like Ben Affleck needs acting school. It was terrible in that film. I need you like good needed a bigger part. He's way better than Ben Affleck now. All I can think about is your smile and that crappy movie too. Yeah, Pearl Harbor sucked, and I miss you. It's just such an earworm. It's great. Alright, I'll just toss into game discussions real quick if you want to join the server, if you haven't already. I'll probably sound more cursed than the original, but hey. It's like it's a silly song and I love it all the same. Probably got some aspects for it. Anyways. You know, let's yeah, Espeon Pro. You know, I think we'll just bash our head against the wall real quick. It's fine. It's fine. Bailey's gonna finish the job. Yeah, I was saying, I could definitely imagine Bailey being the heart and soul of this part, just being super supportive of all the Shadow Pokemon there, just sort of like a I know this is sort of a dark place to go, just sort of acting like someone who got out of rehab. It's just like, it's okay, guys. I was down in the dumps where you were before, but I got better. You can get better too. You know, that sort of energy. Meanwhile, Espeon's just more sort of the silent killer, super serious type, just like, the only thing I know is battle. You know, he's just the edgy one, whilst Umbreon is just sort of the Leroy Jenkins of the bunch. MGS2, right? Yeah. I think that's a good way of putting it. Really, you really do have pre-mole strapped to your chest like Pokeballs. Press the wrong... Quiet, you. I know what you're getting at. And for that, you're getting the nerf. We're getting the Rouge nerf here. You know, just for that, Noifer, and I hope you're happy. Held my tongue on that joke as well. I see that a lot of you are learning in chat, which I definitely appreciate. Damn this chair and this lack of ability to rotate. It's just like being back in my office, honestly. Oh no. I thought we'd gone over this with the whole Jabba Jabba thing. It's gone from Sonic Adventure 2 to Shadow Generations. Yeah, that's the mentality. That's where we're going with this. I will be I have a feeling that's just what you want, Noivern, so I'm not going to grant it to you. Let's see what we're... Okay, so mostly water types again. Really getting a lot of potential experience here, almost so just food in terms of Pokemon it's super effective against. Oh, you're Just you wait until Skip Bloom actually gets a grass-type move, then you'll be sorry. You'll see. You'll all see. It's gonna be kind of awkward, me just constantly going backwards and forwards, just trying to fish out new Pokemon from the PC. It is kind of funny now to think about, because it may just be me, but at the moment, at the very least, it really feels as though the Pokemon streams are the ones I look forward to the most. Just you wait as when it goes down like a fighter jet struck by anti-air fire. Oh no, it's like the first Pokemon to be cursed with Sky Battleitis. Anyways, as I was saying, it may just be me, but it kind of feels as though over time I've just sort of accepted that I'm more of a Pokemon fan than a Sonic fan. I know that's kind of heretical. You may think that heretical to say, especially given the state of the series nowadays, but I suppose that's the thing, really. It's like back when, arguably, I needed the games the most, like sort of late 2000s-esque. That's obviously when the Sonic series was in its experimental phase, and I was mostly just sort of waiting for them to... I think, like most people, are just sort of waiting for them to get the swing of things before actually getting back to making good games again. Which we kind of got with Colors, but then it just sort of... Well, Colors and Generations then just sort of spiraled throughout the 2010s. It's just... During all that time, it feels as though the Pokemon series have been putting out more consistently solid entries, because it's like late 2000s, obviously you had arguably the peak of Pokemon with Gen 4 and Gen 5. You know, mostly just 2008 or whenever Platinum came out, all the way to 2012 with Black and White 2. That's sort of what I consider the peak. I'm just like, if you design something potentially flies, more forgiving Pokemon, especially bad. Really? I mean, to be fair, I haven't really heard much about World of Warcraft. I imagine that, given its long, lustrous lifespan, it's been through significant ups or downs. Shadowlands comes to mind. I don't know anything about Shadowlands, just heard it was really bad. Like Pokemon drawn to a candle. Unfortunately, I don't have any fire types yet. It was very not great, yeah. That's what I heard at the very least. Just trying to think where I was going, what I was saying. Yeah, just... Like, even throughout, like, the 2010s. Like, yeah, it still had fairly solid hits, obviously, 2012 with Black and White 2, but even going into that, like, 2014-15, we had stuff like, Oras. You know, say what you will about it, I thought it was pretty solid. Obviously, I have a lot more nostalgia for the original games, but as remakes go, I had a lot of... I did actually kind of like Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, though obviously I was just as disappointed as everyone else for the lack of Battle Frontier. It's just like, why? I mean, I get the sort of reason they were giving them. It's like, oh, people are too busy with their smartphones to pay attention to post-game content, which, you know, maybe it's just... Maybe if you actually made good post-game content, they'd put away the smartphone for a minute there. Big fan of the fly. Yeah, I mean, part of me kind of wishes they brought back that sort of flying mechanic in later games. You know, actually as you use it with all your various flying type Pokemon. You know, just one of those things which adds to the immersion. You know, as opposed to just navigating them. I mean, I suppose it just comes down to preference, right? It's just another thing that I could imagine slowing down the process of the game. Like, it's cool for immersion, but in terms of pacing, I can see it being a bit of an issue. There we go, final level 30, and Swift... I know this is probably going to be controversial. Actually, now that I think about it... Nah. Do you enjoy the ride Pokemon? I mean, I did also enjoy the concept of ride Pokemon. Once again, I just wish you were able to do it with your own party members is the thing, as opposed to just having an arbitrary set of Pokemon handed to you. I mean, again, it's more so the case where it's like, oh, what if you don't have the right Pokemon for the situation? Well, I imagine a lot of circumstances that, given the variety of Pokemon, you're bound to have at least one which can get the job done in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it's one thing which I definitely appreciate about Power World. Where it's like you are actually just able to use all the various Pokemon in your arsenal as mounts. This is like, that's something that I've been hoping for throughout basically ever since Ride Pokemon were a thing, and lo and behold, Power World got to it first. I mean, I'm hoping that with the lawsuit falling through, you know, Game Freak slash the Pokemon Company may look at what Power World's doing and thinking, that's a pretty good idea. We should implement a little bit of that sauce into the game. See how it goes. I was happy to have a generation where HMs would. I think I've already mentioned my stance on how I feel HM should operate in sort of a classic game. May as well just reiterate it again for the sake of it. Essentially, just I prefer them to be used more as field abilities, where they aren't moves that take up move slots, more just stuff which you use in the overworld, where you don't have to necessarily the only prerequisite you need to actually use certain field moves is just gym badges. Could be a specific gym badge, could just be a number of gym badges. You know, just one of those things where it's more so as you gain badges, your Pokemon gain more field moves, sort of emulate the effect of gaining and learning HMs, just without all the various clutter to your moveset. Special 5th slot for overworld moves. I was thinking more so in a similar vein to Pokemon Ranger, where all the various Pokemon have certain actions they can do in the overworld. So I imagine with certain Pokemon you have a fair bit of overlap, giving you a fair few opportunities to mix and match your team members. Okay, this one's mostly flying types. Just needed to check again before I sent Misdreavus out. Oh yeah, that's right, I have Toxic. Have fun with this, fellas. You know, it is kind of crazy. This is like one of the few instances where we actually do get a Pokemon game where the trainer levels are consistently higher than my own. I mean, obviously they make up for it by just having fewer Pokemon, but at the same time it's kind of nice. It just sort of makes every battle seem a bit more dangerous. I suppose another thing that's been on my mind too with regards to the Pokemon series, and how I've sort of come to appreciate it being one of my favorites, is just I do sort of appreciate the multi-generational aspect of it. Maybe just be me, but I know a lot of people tend to get down on a lot of specific IPs for turning themselves into lifestyle brands. With Pokemon, I can kind of see that being the sort of the logical step, which is, I mean, one, with how big it is, but mostly just with regards to how the games are set up, where it's more so you going on this trip. That's one of the things, right? Because obviously with the Pokemon series, the big thing is you're going out on an adventure, gathering creatures in order to become the very best, etc., etc. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm kind of surprised I haven't done like any crossovers or like proper sort of outdoorsy brands in order to sort of mirror, like, hey, you want to go out on a journey all on your own and travel the world and explore and have adventures? Well, here's some fancy new running shoes, outdoor running shoes for you, which will allow you to, which are like really nice actual sort of mountaineering shoes. I mean, obviously, given the nature of mountaineering and hiking and whatnot, they're probably getting lucky to hell and high water, but it's the thought that counts, right? I can imagine sort of Pokemon-themed orienteering and general outdoorsy merch being, you know, just sort of the stuff that You know, it's sort of they could promote, like, here's stuff that actual trainers would use on their adventures, you know, that sort of thing. I can see that being pretty cool. I mean, obviously, it's all gonna get scalped to hell, but it's the thought that counts. Yeah, on that similar vein with the whole lifestyle thing, I do generally like the prospect of the Pokemon series being this multi-generational thing, where it's like, you know, you grew up with the earlier games as a kid, and once you're an adult and you have your own kids, you can introduce them to either the latest game or a game of your choosing and just send them out on their own adventures and sort of relive them vicariously through your kids. I suppose that's just sort of the joy of retro gaming as a whole, actually. The fact that you're able to sort of share it with your offspring and re-experience vicariously everything you went through all over again. Solid troopers. Yeah, I think you can see what I mean when I say this is arguably the low point of the game. I mean, obviously, you could argue this is sort of necessary in order to get all your Pokemon Shadow gauges down for later, but at the same time, still can't help but feel this gets a little bit old after a while. You know what? Let's just send an SPN. These two could probably do with a little bit more experience. You know, just get them leveled up at the same time. It's fine. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised I didn't do this, didn't figure this earlier. I love Still's animation there. It's like, I suppose it's even funnier in Gale of Darkness when you can get a Shadow Sphere where he's just like, his heart is filled with only darkness and hatred. And he's just like bouncing there with only like a singular brain cell. He just looks so jovial. I loved him. And honestly, one of those things where it's been such a long time since I've seen a Sphere in the more recent games where I'm not even sure what its animations in the later games are like, but I imagine they're not quite to this sort of level. All the mother figures rival, but formerly Pokemon Jam, so upon something on your journey to touch you throughout the game, see how well you're doing progressing and show them looking. I mean, yeah, that's definitely an interesting angle that could tackle. You know, it just reminds me of one particular meme. Let me just see if I can. Let me just see if I can find the meme. Because I know it was like something with the former Prime Minister of Japan. Let's just see history. Trying to see the sort of, let's see, designations. Okay, I'm probably just going to have to, oh, that was it, Shinzo Abe, that was it. I'm probably gonna have to put another meme in the server. I'm fairly certain you've all seen this one. It's like, for those of you just in the server, this will make sense later, I promise. You know, just one of those things where I can imagine just sort of, it being like a I want to say pro-paternal thing, where, you know, promoting actually having a family. I think it would be very innocent. Okay, sport your very first Pokemon. Let me show you the ropes to get them more competitive, being bewildered by how you're beating with an optimized team. Like, yeah, just that whole family angle is definitely something I definitely want to just see more often, because another thing this reminds me of is that one sort of quote-unquote controversial Japanese McDonald's commercial, where it's just, you know, you just have this nice family enjoying McDonald's together, and it's wholesome and nice, and everybody just hates it because they hate families. Parent is red, and at the end of the game, just death staring at that old red hat. Okay, so I guess it just didn't cast himself off of Mount Silver. Great twist. Well, yeah, considering... How old even is Red nowadays? Well, again, I suppose it would be kind of surreal to see Red actually speaking for once. I mean, I'd be down for it. I mean, I could see that being pretty cool. It's just like, this is what became of Red. What's your excuse? He and Blue and Sun and Moon were adults. Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I didn't necessarily like Red's redesign in Sun and Moon. It may just be... I'm gonna have to look at it again, but I just remember him looking like he just had like a wife beater on. Let me just have a look at it. I want to see this for myself. I want to see this for myself real quick. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it's just more so the fact that, it's more so the shirt he's wearing. He's like got like a wife beater vest over a red shirt. That's what it is. Also, that Superstone... I don't know, just... Red's look in Sun and Moon never really sat right with me, which is a shame because, honestly, I thought Blue's looked pretty good. It just sort of looked sort of how one might expect. Let me just have a look at Blue's sort of design here real quick. It's like, yeah, he's just got, like, the black button-up shirt on, he's still got the same hair, he's still got the same cocky attitude. Except now he's just like that one kooky, fun-loving uncle. Just the kind of guy who says he likes your vibes across the bar. Oh, he likes my cut, does he? Is that where this is going? Let's see what's in here. Goldstone and he'd easily be in his late 20s by now. If not older. If not older. So yeah, I think it would be a fun twist if it did turn out in a later game he was both a rival and your dad. Because, I don't know, it feels as though the last time we actually properly saw a dad in Pokemon was Norman. You know, they did this sort of cool thing already where it's like your dad is a gym leader and then you have to surpass him at like the halfway point in the game. It's like, oh, you're better than I thought, sport. Go on, show 'em what you're made of, boy. I don't know why I'm going with that particular angle, but I'm sure you get what I mean. This sort of general sense I get from Norman. You know, when he's not in his green armor and wearing his spooky Halloween mask. The crit, Osborne! Always go for the crit! Felt like it ends a little bit too early in Gen 3. Yeah, I suppose that's also it. That's also a bit of a shame. Really could have pushed that a little bit more. Yeah, I think it's just this... Yeah, like, imagine if it was like Gym 7 or 8, though. It's like... In fact, I'm probably certain Gym 8 probably would have made more sense, where it's like... Alright, you've beaten Wallace, you've gotten your 7th badge. And now you have to face him. He's your final challenge before Victory Road. He's just been like a shadow looming over you for the entire game, and now it's your turn. It is what it is, though, unfortunately. Like, it would have definitely been a cool, like, prospect if Norman was Gym Leader 8, but, alas. I suppose it's just like a fair few things in Ruby Sapphire where they just end up getting dropped after all. Like the rival, for instance. Like, you fight for the last time outside Lily Cove City, and then they just disappear from the story, for the most part, up until you beat the champion, where he just comes in just sort of like a fake out. In fact, I'm fairly certain Brendan and May, for the most part, in Gen 3 mostly act as fake outs. Big example being after Flannery. I mean, obviously, there's the infamous fight on the way to Morville, which we all got stuck on. Confused Ray, no thank you. For this theoretical Pokemon game, could you have a general moral of parent not being too caught in competition or optimal battle, just have fun on the... Yeah. I have a feeling that's something a fair few people could learn from, including me. I mean, I know they sort of already poked... I mean, I already had this sort of little rant and rave about it during Legends Are, where it feels more like they were sort of poking fun at that sort of competitive mindset and sort of optimization thing, and I feel that sort of rings true, whereas, like, you're insulting what is arguably a huge part of your, a huge part of the audience that still plays your games. And I know, just imagine going about it in that particular way isn't the most wise. It's more just sort of trying to reach out and meet them halfway rather than just sort of berating them as a thing. I think is the better approach. Hopefully that makes sense. I got spooked there for a bit of a second there for my new handheld. I got a new handheld, by the way. I mean, technically as a sort of replacement of a Retroid, but I've still yet to finish setting up. It's a 9.4. You know, just sort of bigger, beefier, chunkier, dual screen sort of Android handheld. Definitely looking forward to seeing how it works, but I imagine it's going to take me a bit of a while to set up, so it seems a fair bit more complicated. Because obviously you got two screens to contend with. It's a matter of trying to figure out how both screens actually work. I haven't realized with the final battle they got too swift and trying to surpass it again. Wanted to still do the best that they nearly got with their initial Journey special. Yeah, it's like, that's actually kind of compelling. I like that. I'd definitely be down for something like that. I'm true, like my favorite narratives are more heartfelt. Yeah. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. That's definitely an approach I can definitely appreciate. I suppose it's one of those things where I can definitely appreciate as well having a flying type on my team. Ah, well. I don't know, from what I've seen, at the very least, I still get the sense that they have the capacity for more heartfelt stories if Arvin in Scarlet and Violet and... I'm not sure if I want to say Hop in Sword and Shield are a good example, where it's like they were trying to do something at the very least with Hop, where he's constantly just living in the shadow of both you and his champion brother Leon, who is the strongest trainer ever, who uses a Charizard, don't you know? It's like, you get the sense that there's something there, but they never really got the chance to properly go through with it, is the thing. So I'm gonna switch that off. It is a cool little handheld, though. Definitely looking forward to toying around with it a little bit more at some point. Like, finally, I can actually play DS games, and heck, probably even 3DS games on this thing. Obviously, I still need to test it out, but it's like it's considerably more powerful than the Retro I have. I mean, the Retroid's definitely been good, but definitely seeing this idea for the. I mean, write it down somewhere. Write it down now. I don't care if it's on Post-it notes or on computer. Just do it. You know, quickly before it gets away. You want a Pokemon fan game in the future? Oh, and you're definitely looking forward to seeing it full of more unnecessary swears. I will say, Val, you are definitely a man of many talents. Keep your dialogue punchy and succinct. And just full of non-stop swear words. Because that's definitely what makes a Pokemon game more mature. Which is having it, basically just having the script be written by Vivzipop. What blind spot did you exploit? I just, used sheer overwhelming strength. Oh, finally, we've hit the rooftop. It's like we're finally here after, like, an hour. Anyways, here's an uninterrupted lore dump coupled with a couple of non-skippable flashbacks. You learn from the oh, finally! Finally! Skiploom actually learned to move. And attack. It's Mega Drain. Well, it's better than nothing. Just going to just, may as well use up some of the potions.
Just Captain Intro, go inside the building and provide assistance.
It's almost a box of rocks, this one. Anyways, let's see what's inside door number 1.
Darling, aren't you one of Duke King's people? What made you think you'd simply waltz in here? Such a silly boy.
Where's Mirror B? I'm taking him down!
Take him down? After being you took? It's too funny.
You wait, I'm gonna drive all of you out of this town!
Oh, such a feisty boy. Don't tell him we'll have to take your Pokemon hostage to make you settle down like we did with Duke King.
What? I like the design of this one. I know, I think it's just mostly because I like, the sort of, goggles/glasses just, over the eyes. That and no one seems to be wearing a midriff. Also, her posture seems quite bad.
Oh, seems like we're getting a lot of unexpected company today. That's no excuse for being a bad host.
I know, it feels as though I'm on the borderline. I want to be central with this one. Time for the lowest level Shadow Pokemon in the game. I have no idea what this thing is level 20. I mean, you can tell it's a Shadow Pokemon because the level is so out of whack, but still, why is it level 20? It's like, I'm fairly certain this is arguably the lowest level Pokemon in the entire game. Or at least contending for that spot. Yeah, they'll just bite. Skiploom, you had one job! I don't know, though. Bite is still putting in a fair bit of work. I mean, I don't know, doing half health, that ain't too bad. Oh, jeez. Skiploom is not long for this world. Oh, isn't fun that agility animation quite interesting? Just the fact that it... I suppose they didn't necessarily have a decent idea as to how to properly emulate agility. At least not until Battle Revolution, where he just sort of zips in multiple directions. I suppose thinking about that a little bit more, though, that's something that that's sort of been on my mind, especially with regards to champions as well. Mostly just, battle animations, because I know that's sort of been a popular point of contention ever since... Basically, ever since Sword and Shield, where it's like... Oh, we got rid of, like, half the Pokédex so we could focus on animations, even though they just straight up didn't. One of those things where I can appreciate on one hand. Okay, we've got like a whole bunch more Great Balls for this next segment, which is nice. Where it's like you wanna still make the battle animations look convincing/compelling, but at the same time you don't want them to go on for too long, where it just really kills the pace of battling. Because I think, like, you saw how quickly battles went in Fire Red Leaf Green, where it's like turns were like done within like 30 seconds, as opposed to the more later games where it takes like 3 times as long almost sometimes. So I suppose it's just trying to find that sweet spot between, you know, still compelling animations whilst at the same time being snappy enough in order to facilitate battles having good pacing. Or Vanguard, where turns get... I mean, yeah, that's mostly just because I had speed up on the whole time. That was just me using speed up to speed the battles along. Because apparently the pacing wasn't quick enough. Easy victory. I don't know. The jiggle bones on Love This Care just seemed kind of unsettling to me. It was just sort of jiggling all around the place. I mean, I know I'm not that much better, but I'm sure you get my point, right? Like, when you see it swing around, we just see it jiggling like that. I don't know, something about it is kind of off-putting to me.
How did this happen? Unbelievable.
See? Very funny. I don't know how to look.
My Pokemon couldn't master a thing. You ain't no ordinary trainer. Were you hired by Duke King as his bodyguards? Let me warn you, if you mess with us, you better be prepared for the consequences.
Burma. It's like, I imagine I get a lot of comments about firmness. And I hate to be bothered by Vanguard even giving a sliver of chance of having a good story using Vanguard. If I bothered to give Vanguard even a sliver of chance. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I give it as... I stuck with it for as long as I did, because... Obviously, as it went on, it's kind of evident, like, yeah, this is just not getting better. Yeah, it just kept going and going and going. Yeah, just... Last time I tried a Pokemon fan game, at least for a while, I suppose it's just one of those things where I have to do a little bit more research into them before I go into it. It's like, how long is the game? Oh, it's unfinished and it goes on for like hundreds and hundreds of hours. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip right over that. It's like, I don't care if I don't care if it has the writing quality of, I suppose what's good? The writing quality of the Bible, I don't care. I ain't gonna sit around for that long. I only have so much patience, especially when battles just, are arbitrarily unfair in that sort of manner. I'm fairly certain I can manage a Giga Drain here. Or, you know, I could just flinch. That's also an option. Oh, never mind, we actually land a hit. Look at all that damage, look at Skiploom go! That was definitely worth it. No mercy for old Skiploom, huh? I know, it's just one of those things with Vanguard thinking more about. I think I've already delved into thought process with regards to it, but so it's one of those things where playing it, it's one of those things where you sort of question why you were so big into Pokemon to begin with. Where it's like, wow, these battles really are just an absolute pain. Was the series always this bad? No, it's just... I don't know, it doesn't seem fair, because it may just be me trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, but at the very least to me, it didn't necessarily feel like I was playing the Pokemon equivalent of Hunt Down the Freeman. I know that's sort of a very low bar to set, but that's what comes to mind, at least for me. Like, you know, it's not complete... You know, it's like there's something redeeming here, I'm sure. And we've been having a fair few laughs at it, at the very least. And then again, you also do with the Hunt Down the Freeman, so... I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked into Hunt Down the Freeman, but I'm imagining with how that game manages encounter design, this sort of parallels how a lot of people view not a lot of people. It just sort of mirrors the sort of battle design and encounter design and sort of team setups of a lot of trainers in Vanguard. Because you gotta remember, I was playing mostly on just regular, just sort of standard mode. We were still running into sort of unbelievably sort of comparatively knitted teams. Someone mentioned the game should not be named. I start coughing up black. Oh no! Forgive me. Or did I just hear? I mean, I imagine it's a trauma response for a lot of people that played through it. I am fortunate enough that I haven't played through it yet. I imagine that's probably going to be a request at some point, which I am most certainly dreading that day. To say the least. Streaming myself and two friends racing through it, Brian and out. Why would you set it up as a race? Why would you do that to yourself? Like, trying to go through it on your own time, sure, I won that race, which you won, but at what cost? Yeah, I definitely, because one of my friends gifted me the game as a gift and I revenge gifted it back. Oh, so that's how it is. I see. I see how it is. Yeah, I remember back when I first played this, I remember thinking this Mantine was a bit of a pain to catch. Maybe it's just this was the first battle which I feel as though I had proper sort of struggles with. It's allegedly better these days. Allegedly. Allegedly. I don't think many people are gonna give it the time of day, though, unless it's a joke. Okay, I guess Mantine wasn't a problem. Is it Mantine or Mantine? Mostly think it's like, I remember it being pronounced Mantine in an episode of Pokemon Chronicles, but I also remember it being pronounced Mantine in Pokemon the Movie 3. It's like I have these two different, it's pronounced it's pronounced it's pronounced Berenstein. I can't believe it. The Mantine parallel universe theory is real. I definitely wasn't expecting to go down this route this stream. I suppose that's just what this building does to us. Maintain it now knows it was awful as achievements to reference all the... Oh. Oh, I see. It was like taken over by people who have basically zero reverence for it. I see. I see. I'm kind of surprised after all this that Skip Plume hasn't gone all its heart gig all the way down. I would have thought it would. Most achievements is rolled refunds it off too fast. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's that bad, is it? Yeah, my condolences to anyone who had the misfortune of playing that game. I mean, from what I've heard, it is quite funny, especially at the end, but, that's what YouTube is for. So it's not worth it. Going through it otherwise.
What just happened? Unbelievable, too.
This one's like... I feel like these two are sort of on my wavelength.
Reef, let's make ourselves scarce for the time being. Rattle Firma. Super Ultra Fire Dash.
Alright, let's untie you. Let's get you out of...
Ow. Thank you. You saved me. You people know Duking?
Dude, I was there when you snapped at him.
Okay. I'm a fool. I didn't even know what was happening at all. They'd taken Duking's Pokemon hostage. How could they do something so downright dirty? That's why we're here. We're here to rescue Plusle. I'm going too. Not in your condition. You'll have to wait here. We meet again, kiddies.
You're gonna have to remove this battle music. Her match very low. Whereas Big Crush SpongeBob moves dancing.
Mirror B, you cowardly cheat. Cowardly cheat? That's not true. Taking a hostage is perfectly fine as a bargaining tactic. You call that a tactic? Plusle better be okay. Oh, the darling couldn't be any safer if it tried. I'm sure they'll come to adore me for much longer. You gotta be kidding. Where is it? Give it back! No running or hiding from me. Come to the cave, that's where I'll be. I'll be waiting for you, my pretties.
Gross. He's tweaking again. Yeah, I could definitely see it. Doesn't appear to work right now. Screamed by like... Again, this was written in the old tongue. This is written in... My Robbie.
When you go into that cave, that sentinel is tough.
You got... Yeah. This is written in the old tongue. Shadow Pokemon. A Shadow Pokemon is a Pokemon that has been made into a fighting machine by artificially shutting the door to its heart. I feel as though with this voice I'm slowly turning more into Wesker. What we didn't know is the Shadow Pokemon exude a dark aura that can't normally be seen by the human eye. He found the... Haha, very funny. Unfortunately, a girl with the ability to see this dark aura has been discovered. This is a major problem. But a girl could become a huge obstacle for our Shadow Pokemon plan. A solution to this threat is urgently needed. Complete global saturation. Yeah, I need to work on that voice a little bit more. Let's see what's at the bottom of this elevator. We now have access to this lift. Unfortunately, I think it's only one way. Let me just check. Let's see what's in... Hyper Potions. Sweet. Alright, let's have a look-see. Yep, it's only a one-way door. Bluff my stupid, campy life. Smoked that mega slowpoke tail. I really just saw that. That is, I could definitely see that being a thing. Imagine an office you worked in had a door like that in the lobby. Yeah, I could certainly imagine some of the older buildings around where I work definitely having that sort of feature. As a fire safety feature, they say. It'll lead you right to your workstation only has one way. You have to go free force to get back down to it. Yeah, fire safety. Yeah, it's super quick actually coming up here. Now that it's properly done. Anyways. Sentinel. Okay, you guys want to recruit pedestrian intruders too? Guy was too word for word. What about you? You gotta keep me amused? Yeah, it's one of those weird things. I sort of imagine Slowpoke Tail being more sort of a delicacy thing, sort of like shark fins. And no, it's kind of weird to think that Slowpoke Tail could potentially have hallucinogenic effects. Good time is gonna imagine the squirrel team from Pokemon anime snacking the thing. Oh, this guy has Quillfish. Nice. You know, it's nice that Quillfish has gotten a little bit of love recently. I just kind of wish there was like a Jotonian over Quill, just so that there was actually a reason to use regular Quillfish. But yeah, just... That's a good question, actually, since Quillfish... Speaking of Quillfish, do you think, well, you think people just sort of, hunt Quillfish in order to get Fugu? Is Quillfish the source of Fugu in the Pokemon universe? I can only imagine. Not look happy to be in this desert. I mean, it's hard to imagine why. Some good water. Yeah, because, I suppose it's just something we, have only sort of started questioning more as time has gone on. Like, especially with the food items in Scarlet and Violet. Like, what is the chorizo made of? Yes and no, if you don't know the chef credit, rocking on you would start walking around and taking damage. Yeah, that sounds about right. Now I'm just imagining the Quillfish eating that carrot. I'm fairly certain there's actually a video of Quillfish eating the carrot. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was a thing. Let me just... Okay, I found it. I'll put it in the VC as well. Finding a lot of videos slash memes to put in the VC, I'm noticing. I think I already put this in the VC, but I don't care. I'm gonna put it in again. You'll see. I'm gonna put this in Bad Eggs, the meme channel. Yeah, just looking more at Red and Blue's designs, I don't know, just... See, it feels kind of weird just seeing Red with those skinny jeans. It doesn't... It's like, that's not proper, like, journeying inside, is it? I don't know, I think I'm just more of... It's one of those things where growing up, I used to get a lot of, like, walking trousers as a kid. More sort of used to sort of cargo affair, and, you know, more sort of, sort of cargo pants, just lots of pockets. That's the thing. You know, it should be sort of a mandatory for a Pokemon trainer, honestly, nowadays. Just lots and lots of pockets. When you see reminder of the in that reminder being... Reminder, you say? Yeah, I imagine I'm probably gonna have to resize some stuff a little bit. I mean, hopefully it's not too much of a problem. I mean, I can reach out just fine from where I'm sat. It's just a matter of whether it's an issue for you lot. Because I figured that this sort of position would be more fine with regards to how stuff is set up. Because I figured I didn't want to be too small on the screen. But I don't know. I feel I can kind of go back. That is if people want me to, though. I don't know. I could always just sort of come all the way up here. We could do this. We could do this right now. You think you're safe? You're not safe. Yeah, we could just do that. It's fine, except the text should fade out. I'll be sure to keep that in mind. Feels as though I'm getting an echo in my headphones. It's fine, it's fine. You know what I was thinking instead? Maybe plugging in your streams to YouTube community. Yeah, that probably seems like a good idea. It's just a matter of remembering it to do it. It's just a matter of remembering to do it constantly. You know, maybe that's an idea though. Just sort of say, "Hey, I'm starting up this new game on Switch. Come and have a look," as opposed to just having to do the notification for a stream going up every single time I have to do it. I mean, I don't know. It just I suppose it's just a matter of getting into the habit of it is all. This feels as though it may take a little bit. Maybe a few subs aren't funny on Twitch, they think you just disappear. I mean, I don't see why not. I keep posting up all the VODs on the YouTube channel, so it's not like I've disappeared properly. At least until you get... Yeah, I suppose, you know, suppose that's just one of those things where I have to keep an eye on when I'm actually able to multi-stream. I'm not sure what the prerequisites for that would be, though, but it's definitely an interesting thing I'd want to look into. Though I imagine it's maybe a bit to chaos, because I'm not sure if I'll be able to keep track of two chats going on at once, at least when it comes to my setup. I've sort of been thinking about how I'd possibly go about switching it up a little bit, but I imagine that won't be for, like, ages. Because, you know, we're all busy nowadays with, you know, sheds and whatnot. Don't have time for remodeling. You know, just moving around my entire room just to fit in an actual desk. Starting to think maybe I should have just opted to attack this thing normally. Ah, well, I'm sure it's fine. And these days, all they do is build, they shed, they manual labor, melt and... Well, yeah, exactly. We're all guys here, aren't we? Maybe I'll do it by default, it's not everyone can see its way. I see. I see. Yeah, internet speed, considering I've historically had to downscale my streams just to 720p to have sort of a stable, like, bit rate, slash, you know, not constantly, lagging every, like, 30 seconds. I imagine that internet speed is probably not going to be a good idea. You know, internet speed's probably not going to allow that, unfortunately. Alright, I guess we'll just soften you up a little bit. Come here, you! Like, you know, Goldfish is kind of bulky. Oh, jeez. Test some stuff out for you. Yeah. Suppose that's just, you know, experiment, have fun with it, find stuff new. It's just like going out for a meal. Weird way of putting it, I know, but I suppose that's one way of coping with myself about it. Alright. Yeah, that basically didn't do that much damage. Please don't affect me with poison points. That would be horrible. Yeah, expect to see me doing that a lot once we get into the caves. It's been nearly 2 hours and we still haven't gotten into the cave. That's how bad this has been. And we've had a few laughs along the way at the very least, so... It's not the worst thing. Oh, for fluff's sake! And that probably means I'm not going to be able to get that quillfish until the post-game. Fan-fluffantastic. Good grief. Battling you was first, that's good enough for me. If you want to go through, go right ahead. Well, I know what I'm going to be spending my entire weekend, the entire rest of my, my week on. Good grief. And that was going so well as well. No Fugu for me, unless I still have the time cube on hand. We're just gonna see how far we can get this turnaround, and then, you know, maybe some things will be different next time. You'll never know. It's like a kind of magic. Great. Watch me. You think I haven't done this? You think I haven't done this sort of sorcery before? This is nothing to me. After all this time, Skiploom still hasn't, like, dropped its heart gauge at all. This is gonna be awkward. You know, going into the cave, and then I'm gonna have to go all the way back. You can't kill Ocelot. Watch me. I mean, I did do that at least once during the Snake Eater playthrough. I wonder what these are supposed to be on the ground here. Are they, like, supposed to be soda cans? You can only imagine. Anyways, finally into the cave. Felt like it's taken us 1,000 years to get here. So yeah, there's a fair few alternate paths to this area, and I can only imagine... Yeah, from what I recall, the correct path is the one with trainers with Shadow Pokemon on it, so keep an eye out for that. I think it's just the unavoidable battles that have Shadow Pokemon, right? What's going on here? This is an intruder's office, there's two of you. Semantics saves the day once again! Alright, let's see. Do you have a Shadow Pokemon, sir? Doesn't look like it. Well, at the very least, this means more, stuff to lower the heart gauge. Speaking of which, I think, we've reached... It's like we've only just gotten here, now I'm gonna have to go all the way back. It may just be me, but I don't exactly remember Roltz's model being that, detailed in the past. It may just be, where my mind is wandering, but... I don't know, just, especially compared to its, how it looks in, say, for instance, Ruby Sapphire with Sprite, where it just looks a little bit sort of, indiscriminate below the head. It's just as though it's like arms and legs and whatnot just sort of meld into one another. Not quite so here, where it feels like it... I'll just stop. It's kind of crazy to see coughing of all Pokemon here. It's just like, the obvious villain Pokemon is actually here. It's such an expressive... Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it's just done the same as coughing is just in, Stadia. Oh, hey. I am rubber, you are glue. Why'd you have to do this to me? I know that I already got you poisoned, but still. You poisoned both of all my team members. How could you do such a thing? There's a lot of stadium models. I think the S1... I don't think they are, actually. I'm fairly certain the Espeon and Umbreon models are the same as they are in Stadium 2. I mean, granted, it wouldn't surprise me if the Espeon and Umbreon models are new, but, I mean, given they are basically the stars of this game, but I'm fairly certain it's just the case that they just aren't. Because I know that's the case with Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, and Gale of Darkness. Must be a hard struggle, you might be on. Dude, I am underleveled as fluff. I am the most underleveled trainer here. That's fine, we're just gonna end up going back to the PC anyway. Must think a Gale of Dark... Probably. I will just say this much. Gale of Darkness didn't have any areas which were this much of a slog. So it's got that going for it. And I guess the closest is like the Cypher Lab maybe, and maybe Citadark Isle, but even then it's like... That area gives you frequent PCs and healing stations, just sort of help you keep going as you proceed through the stronghold, I guess is a good way of putting it. Alright, it's time to make things a little bit more interesting. Welcome to the party, Noctowl. It's been a long time coming. How have you been? I'm gonna have to remember to save more often in future. just so I don't have to repeat absolutely everything I do here. Yeah, just thinking back to it, it's just one of those things where I am quite looking forward to the prospect of streaming Gale of Darkness in the future. It's like one of the last, probably the last Pokemon game I actually streamed on YouTube, and definitely had a fun time with that one, and I can only imagine if I do it again, it's probably going to be with a bit of a twist. You know, like a challenge, or actually, there are quite a few ROM hacks when it comes to Gale of Darkness, weirdly enough, so that might also be on the cards. Don't mind me, I'm just here to get item. Just here to get item. Yeah, I think this is the wrong way, but there's an item here at the very least. Oh. Oh, is this a Dark Souls thing, where it's like, I get the item and then he ganks me? Oh yeah, you were, weren't you? It's been a long time. You know, I'm just not gonna ask. You know, we got places to be. We've been held up by enough battles as is, we gotta get going. I mean, I imagine if I do come back here to get Quillfish, probably just gonna battle everybody here just to get some more experience for Espeon and Umbreon, because at this point they sure as hell could use it. Hypnosis. That could definitely be useful, assuming I can actually land it. Yeah, I imagine the mandatory fights are the ones with Shadow Pokemon. Don't think you're going anywhere when you catch my eye! Swan!
Howdy there, Sugar Swan.
Oh, I think I know which Shadow Pokemon this guy has. Unfortunately, it is not Bagon. Even though that would be amazing. And could you imagine this game just... in the middle of the back, just indiscriminately just gives you a Shadow Bagon. One of his training allowed to quit. Twonk. Why would you do that? Why would you cast Confusion? You're only confusing me at this point. Yeah, just... It's kind of weird with just, the particular home Pokemon they go with here. Because I don't think Makuhito and Medit is like the more sort of uncommon ones. Like, you don't tend to run across them too much, but, also doesn't know that they are actually quite powerful. And granted, I'm probably just going to be using Makuhito for this because I already have Espeon, but it's nice to know that you have options at this point with stuff like Meditite. Noble to use Simple Brain now, you should use Bite only. It uses Bite only. Oh, I actually got Ultra Balls now, heck yeah. It's like, now we're fluffing cooking. Now we're in business. The doctor is in. Expect to see these a lot going forward. Heck yeah. Well, if only I had those to Quillfish, eh? If only. Yeah, it definitely feels as though at this point Umbreon is still holding its own, as it were. I mean, Bites at this point is still a relatively strong move, but it's more so just, it can still contribute with Toxic. Those wrong to an Ultra Ball where you kill bits on the top art. Huh, I don't think I've actually noticed that before. I just more used to the Ultra Balls just being completely flat, with just the indiscriminate H there, just sort of to confuse you. Because it is supposed to be an H for Hyper. Yeah, I don't really get why, but for some reason they didn't like them being called Hyper Balls. Which is why it's got the H on it. I'm trying to think as well, because I'm fairly certain it may be the Pokemon board game, because I'm fairly Pokemon board game where the Great Ball also has an S on it for Super. It's like you got your... It's how it goes. You got your Monster Ball, you got your Super Ball, you got your Hyper Ball. I think I already mentioned this in the past about how the naming convention of the Pokeballs basically mirrors that of the potions, which I thought was kind of a neat thing. So it's kind of weird that they didn't name them Ultra Potions. Consistent art style is overrated. Apparently. Final Fantasy this ain't. Yeah, I imagine what we're gonna do here for this one is we're just going to go until we beat Mirror B. And I think just beating Mirror B is probably just going to be a good stopping point for now. There are no average trainer for beating them. So many alternate paths here. So many twisty-turny paths. I imagine it's definitely quite easy to get lost in here. Okay, I think this might be the way forward. Also quite neat that there's just, I do gotta wonder what this place even is, though. Like, are we just, like, in the sewers? I mean, obviously we're in, like, the hillside behind Pyrite, so what are all these waterways for? But be sure to give me a reward. I imagine you don't have a Shadow Pokemon. Oh, Valen. Presumably short for Van Halen. Positively jumping at the chance to battle me by the looks of it. It's kind of sad, because I feel as that's really the only Van Halen song most people tend to talk about. Because, I mean, I can only imagine there were, like, more than one. Let me just check here. Let's have a look at some more Van Halen songs. We're not going to listen to them on stream, obviously. I'm just going to look at the titles, as it were. Here we go, Van Halen. Let's see, you really got me. Running with the devil, Jimmy Bryan on fire. Ain't talking about love. Dance the night. Dance the night away, beautiful. Somebody get me a doctor, and the cradle will rock. Michigan steps of This Is Love, Unchained. Pretty woman running down the street. Yeah, it feels as though the only one people really Love walks in. Best of both worlds. Black and blue one's love. When you started, Pound Cake, Run Around, which just reminds me of the Digimon movie. Right now, the dreams of a man on a mission possibly won't get fooled again, but I think that's I'm thinking most of okay, so it was a rendition of the Who song, which is most of what I'm familiar with. You know, CSI and whatnot. Not enough human beings, me wise magic without you. She's the woman. Yeah, it's weird. It's like the only song people know for Van Halen is just Jump. I was really hoping the Whisper would be a Shadow Pokemon. Nah. I can imagine that would be funny though. I can't remember if Whisper / Loudred even was a Shadow Pokemon in Gale of Darkness. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. You know, it's like Exploud desperately needs something to do in this series, something that it's known for. It's like, I do think Exploud is kind of a cool Pokemon. I've used it in the past, but it's just... I don't know, it just feels as though it desperately needs something. I don't know. Like, just a nice sort of stat boost to sort of give it a proper identity as just this bulky special attacker focusing on more sound-based attacks. Like, you know, just give it Hyper Voice or Boom Burst. And just sort of swing away. Kind of... And I suppose you can sort of tell that the game is still technically pulling its punches, considering it isn't throwing a Vigor off at me yet. Like, you'd think... How did I miss both attacks? Also kind of weird to see Slackhawk basically doing no damage. Like, I'm sort of used to Slackhawk just being this sort of early game destroyer of worlds before, obviously, it takes its form as the true destroyer Slacking. Yeah, it seems as though our overall damage is generally low, is what I'm noticing. I mean, honestly, now that I think about it, Bayleaf's overall moveset here is actually pretty solid. To the point where I'm not even certain as to which move I'd want to swap out for Solar Beam when it comes down to it. Because, like, Razor Leaf is just generally a good move in doubles, you know, just spread move with high crit rate. The Body Slam also, you know, solid move, neutral damage, paralysis. It's gonna be interesting sort of weighing up the two. Ooh, full heal. Nice. All teams seems to be holding together for the time being. Alright then, let's just head further into the depths. I mean, water sound effects are quite nice, but even so, I was like, where are we?
Welcome to here.
Again, it feels... Sauce! Oh, it's this one with Dun Dun. It's like, oh, I remember back in the day, everybody was clamoring for Dunsparce to get this magnificent Dragon-type evolution, and nobody was happy with it. It's like one of those things where I really do hope they go back and sort of give Dunsparce something at the very least. Like, you know, like a nice little extra boost to its stats, or... Because, I mean, especially with champions, I could definitely see there being the mindset, etc. It's like the prospect of them just tinkering with Pokemon stats on the fly doesn't necessarily seem quite as out of the question with champions as you might expect. Might have expected in the past. I suppose that's also the nice thing about some champions, honestly, because potentially we don't have to wait years for new games to essentially get balance patches. Whereas, like, we had to wait until the Scarlet and Violet DLC for Shiftry to actually get a decent ability in Wind Rider. I mean, it also has Chlorophyll, but it's like Dunsparce is full of hatred because he cannot evolve. Oh yeah, that's right, there is no Dunsparce evolution. Well, you know, they just showed a Dunsparce in the future and just, this is your new evolution, Dunsparce, hope you like it, and he clearly doesn't. Alright, let's see how these Ultra Ball fare, because obviously we're just going to be using them a whole lot throughout this entire game. This is just going to be our bread and butter for now. I suppose it does lend itself to an interesting question, though. Do I use the Master Ball at all? Because, I mean, I could definitely imagine one or two Pokemon that I would use the Master Ball on. It's mostly just near the end, but... I don't know, what do you reckon? What do you reckon I should use the Master Ball on, if anything? I know it's kind of early to be discussing these sorts of things, but it's something that's been on my mind for a little bit. What do you mean, game? Oh, wait, he just used Twin Needle, did shoot. Reflect. Unfortunately for you, I have Awakenings. Infinite Awakenings. And I just realized I probably should have swapped out to Espeon a while ago. Don't know what legendaries are in this? Have you seen the box art for this game, Griffles? I don't want to tell you, but, maybe check the box art. It may surprise you. This game's rather open about it. Yes, I know about that. You know, I'm just gonna switch in Espeon now. If I recall, doesn't one guy randomly plot? Randomly, you say? Well, considering it... Or am I thinking Gale of Dark... No, there is no Entei in Gale of Darkness. At least as far as I'm aware. In you go. And of course I get paralyzed on the way up because this game hates me. It's like, it really is like I'm back playing Fire Red Leaf Green again. Also super cursed that Cacnea of all things gets a whole bunch of bug moves that none of the bug types do. Like, it makes sense thematically, but it still sucks. That none of the grass types actually get grass moves. You know, this is also kind of reminding me back when I first played, because, weirdly enough, this was after my first Sapphire playthrough, where, inexplicably, I ended up giving my Blaziken Return as one of its attacks. And I just ended up constantly using it as, like, my most reliable attacking move. To the point where I got to this game, saw that Espeon also had Return. I was like, oh hey, it's that really powerful move again, except that, it doesn't really work that well in Espeon, because obviously Blaziken is a physical attacker, and, oh hey, we actually finally get ourselves another health station here. Reminds you of Chugga's... Yeah, I was thinking that would come up at some point, because yes, that has come to my mind as well. Alright, back up out of the abyss. Not like these massive, like, stalagmites as well. And this whole game just takes you back to that Sugar Conroy Let's Play, in all honesty. Just this and Gale of Darkness as well, to a lesser extent. I don't remember if you have a Shadow Pokemon, sir. I presume you don't. Also, I just realized that he has a singular glove. I'm guessing Nimona Sheik was in style all the way back in 2004 as well. Keep forgetting to switch in Espeon. You know, it's fine, it's fine. Just, you know, we're just gonna go for the double switch. You know what, here's what I think of you and your potential fake-out antics. Prepare for crits. Prepare for Razor Leaf antics. I am curious, actually. You know, it's one of those curious things where it's like... could this possibly be the only Pokemon Colosseum playthrough where you actually pick Bayleaf instead of Quilava? I know everybody picks Quilava, and I don't really fault them for it. Quilava's like really good and really complements Espeon, but it's like nobody's in the right mind outside of maybe a joke, which technically this is, really goes out of the way to pick Bayleaf, which is a shame, because it's like mostly just Pokemon-wise, not so much battle/stat-wise. I have been quite fond of Bayleaf. Maybe it should just be the Legends of playthrough talking. I don't know, one of those weird things where I actually do kind of like Meganium. I don't know, maybe I'm just thinking of the anime where, and seeing how Ash's Bayleaf tends to act. Where it's like, can I really call this endearing? Maybe I shouldn't. I mean, either way, Bailey's at the very least putting in work. Sort of. 32. Now I know for a fact that that Umbreon has to sit in the. I was gonna say at the back of the party, but that doesn't sound right. Yeah, let's just. Yeah, we can just double team him. I didn't have to fight this one all along. But how about that? And I also just generally quite like Bayleaf's design. Just one of the... feels like a good balance, honestly, where you still get a sort of sense of that sort of a more human-like element to it, where mostly it's facial expressions, but it's still one of those things where you can definitely tell, oh, it is a pocket monster, as it were. It's a nice leafy... yeah, it is a nice leafy design as well. You know, it's just one of those things where it's just simple and effective. It's like, you know what it does. You look at it, it's just like, oh, grass type. Possibly dragon type as well. Is there anything else? Just keep going. I'm guessing since I can walk past you, there's just items over here. Grassbur... I think this might actually be the way forward. I think I might have just... Where's this lead? Yeah, I think this may actually be the way forward, but it's just kind of difficult to tell at this point. Just gonna go back up. Pretty sure it's meant to be a fin... Huh. Okay, grass nuts, because wavelengths specifically of grass... Yeah... I suppose it's one of those things where it's going to be difficult to parse what exactly the popular choice is when it comes to the new Gen 10 starters, because, I mean, mostly just because I'm me. I do have a bit of a vested interest in Pom-Bomb. In the hopes, mostly, that its shiny form is white. So I can just... So you could potentially just go for the whole game with a small white dog. Oh. Oh yeah, that's right, Shadow Swablu. I kind of forgot that Swablu was a Shadow Pokemon in this game. Just not one which I'd necessarily expect. It's like, you know, you got all these Johto Pokemon and inexplicably you just have random Kanto Pokemon in here as well. And I suppose that's also another way of keeping the game challenging, sort of limiting your options, because this is your Dragon Flying type for the playthrough. Now that I think about it, Altaria might actually be kind of nice for this. As a sort of playthrough Pokemon. I suppose it's something to keep tabs on at the very least. Because I don't know about you. It feels as though it's been a while since I've properly used an Altaria. I just remember it's generally being quite nice. Now I'm just thinking more so in terms of how we're known as Altaria set, where you just, you know, Aerial Ace, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, other moves. Let's see what how most people set up their Altarias for. Yeah, it's also weird just to see Beldum inexplicably here as well. It's just right there. And hey, it's Beldum. Pokemon you can only get in the post games. Let's see. So obviously more of a story one. So okay, so I guess people just tend to put Fire Blast on it for coverage. I don't exactly blame them for it because you know it definitely has well, mixed stats. Or just rest as well, obviously. Can't really fault that. You know, especially since it has Natural Cure. I think I'll just go for Reflect. Reflect seems nice. I Imagine Brouts, at the very least when it comes to Gen 10 stars, is going to be a bit of the obvious meme pick, because it's just like, look at those very angry eyebrows. It's Mr. Angry Eyes from Toy Story. Yeah, I mostly just set up that reflect for takedown, because it's like, that's the nice thing about Beldum. You're always certain as to what move it's going to use. You know, let's just try a Shadow Rush real quick. Hit the water gear effect, like, why these animations look like spits. I mean, I do sort of prefer how it looks in the anime as well, where it's more of a stream, but I'm guessing that was sort of the intent, for lack of a better word. Where it's like a shot of water from a gun, as opposed to just, like a hose. Now, it is one of these instances where I really do kind of wish that I had some kind of ground or fire type. I'm just gonna... You know what Makuhita will do? It's like Makuhita's been out of this for a while. Let's throw him in here against Beldum, see how he does. I have faith in you and your high crit rates. Like, I could put a helping hand in as well and just do even more chaos. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I can definitely see what you mean when it looks like spit. I suppose, to be fair, Beldum is doing a lot of the work for me. You know, so, like, already he's, like, almost down to half health, because that's all he does, is just bangs his head against the wall. It's like, for a Pokemon that's supposed to be part of the supercomputer, he does a very good job of emulating a mental breakdown. Anyways, let's just, helping hand. Yeah, I definitely imagine Espeon's gonna be our screen setter, for lack of a better term. Here we go! Ooh. Heck yeah, didn't even need the crit. I don't know, it seems as though we've been making good progress so far. So, no, my bright future! Your bright future in this dank hole? Hopes I'm getting a promotion. A promotion! Alright, let's see what... Oh. Okay, I think we've actually reached the end here. Okay, we don't have access to the this shadow monitor yet. Yep, snag failed. I want to just double check real quick if there actually is any more shadow Pokemon I can find in here. You know, just before we venture into the boss fight, because I don't know, it feels as though the cave portion at the very least took a lot less time than I was anticipating. Okay, let's see. Metatite, Dunsparce, Swablu. Okay, there are only 3 shadow Pokemon in here. The rest are just optimal encounters. Sweet. Alright then, let's just head in already. You may have been expecting guitars. You weren't ready for the samba. You weren't ready for the Mampa music. Get used to this. If only I could actually move my shoulders, that would work so well. Just Anyways, I guess we're gonna be as ready as we'll ever be. Sorry I kept you waiting. Look at him go. Just having a whale of a time here. Bam, 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 bam. Oh, here we go. Look at those moves. Look at him go.
Woo! It's about time, darlings. I was fairly tired of waiting for you. Start the music. Oh, you kept me waiting for so long. I decided to work up a little perspiration. But my, seems you've been been naughty and messing up our plans. It was all so close for everything to turn out just right, just the way we hoped. But I can salvage our plans by being you, little man, and so... It's time for one last frantic dance for the grand finale. Let the music play!
Love that little camera zoom it does in there. Anyways, it's time for our favorite boy. If you played Gale of Darkness, you already know this guy's deal, except his Ludicolo are a lot tougher. It's a shame I didn't actually have I don't have a proper flying type here, so I guess we're just gonna have to make do with this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start chipping away at them right now. Oh, the crit. That should slow you down at least a little bit. Booyah. It almost feels as though the Ludicolos are actually dancing in tune with the music. Chipping away, he says. Like, you know what I mean. And yeah, his whole thing is rain dance. You know, in utilizing both Ludicolo's abilities. Like here you actually see one with Rain Dish. The other one has Swift Swim. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. Damn! Ludicolo just have... Yeah! It's like, you say what you want about Cypher, but these guys definitely know how to throw a party. I love Mambo number 6. That is the question of the day, though, isn't it? If there is a Mambo number 5, what happened to the other 4? Like, what is... I'm gonna have to see this now. What does Mambo number 1 sound like? Oh, they both have Rain Dish. Right. That presents a problem. You know, I have faith in you, Noctowl. You can knock out that other Ludicolo. Okay, the tragic story behind Mambo's number 1, 2, 3, and 4. This boss on the whole time. We beg his single sprites with them. I wouldn't rely for at the time of World Pro Mambo 1, but particularly vivacious. Ah. Mambo number 1 through 4 Pokemon arts. Okay, so I guess it's more just sort of, the other Mambos were more sort of uninspired affairs. Outlawed. I'm trying my best here. I just realized I have Toxic. Your Rain Dish means nothing to me. I'm gonna save Hypnosis for later. Crazy to think that even at this point, they're just using Absorbed. He's on his Villain arc. Oh, believe me, I've only even... This isn't even my final form. I'm guessing it's just the Ludicos in the back that have Swift Swim. It seems to be the logic... Oh. Leech Seed as well, huh? Yeah, I'm definitely Toxicing you first. It's like, good luck... I'm guessing that's why they gave you Toxic at the start of this, so you could actually just chew and slash bypass all their health regen. Okay, you're getting... I think it was that one, and it's actually, it probably doesn't matter. Go Bayleaf. It's like Bayleaf is resistant to all of their moves, essentially. He could just sit there and just, and tank. Unfortunately, he doesn't have Sunny Day yet, otherwise that would, be hilarious. Look at that, just like 4 whole damage. You fellas don't have a prayer. And And I could just sit here and watch you dance yourself into a grave. That is pretty devious, honestly. Leech Seed, Rain Dish, and Dive just so you could avoid damage and just do even more health regen. It's lucky that I hit him with the poison when I did. It's almost like a bad Chewbacca impression. There you go. Now all of your health regen means nothing. I could just sit here and watch you suffer. That's and do crit damage. No, you can set up rain as much as you want. You're merely postponing the inevitable. Truly. It's so bad. Oh yeah, and that's right, they have Swift Swim, don't they? No matter, I can just do Chip. It's fine. Oh, Astonished as well, abusing Swift Swim. You know, abusing Swift Swim to go first and do flinch like that, flinch hacks. It's like Mirable's actually playing smart for having a team consisting of 4 of the exact same Pokemon. It's like he's actually fought he's fought his whole operation through here. Like, don't underestimate Ludicolo, especially when you don't have any proper flying type options. He's like, yeah, no, you could just sit there and you could just float and sputter for all I care. Again, it's one of those things where I've been a little bit inconsistent with the voice, where I don't know, I feel as though I could more comfortably just sit up here. Maybe go a little bit higher, but I feel this is sort of pushing it. What do you reckon? I mean, would you care me just speaking more sort of up here? I mean, I feel so I can do it. It feels like I can get sort of articulate this a little bit more, so it's a little bit more presentable. Nah, who am I kidding? Again, it's gonna be funny just catching a new viewer off guard with that. Mirabee here, like, you weren't Alright, see how you fare against the 4th one. Death bites up. Yeah, exactly. Just, that's how you deal with them constantly just sitting here with Rain Dish and Leech Seed. That's not a Ludicolo, what the... Oh. It's like, Legas, something that isn't a Ludicolo, something is amiss here. I'm gonna see if I can get paralysis on it, actually. Because Razor Leaf here is definitely a bad move. Bam, bam. Bam, bam, bam. Reba! Again, I do definitely prefer how his battle theme in Gale of Darkness, but I still have a fair bit of a fondness for this one. It's just so upbeat. I mean, I suppose it does sort of also enforce with how, I suppose, unsettling it can sound, how much of a creeper Mirabee is, but even so. You can't deny it does have a little bit of a funky beat to it. We got the funk. I aimed at the wrong mon. Sorry, Bailey. I failed you! Umbreon there just stands up like a luchador. It's like Umbreon's also getting into the beat. It's part of his fluff it weeball mentality. It's like, yeah, alright, I'll humor you. I'll beat you at your own game. I'm standing up. Let's dance and dance to death, little fluffers. I suppose he would have to have that mentality to just run into an exploding building at the start of the game. You know, I'm just gonna sit in Noctowl, hope we can get some sleep. Let's get some sleep going. Yep, it's only a matter of time before Sudowoodo is the last one standing. You know what? I'm just gonna start chucking at this point. I'm just gonna start chucking. I don't think there's any much particular harm in it. Maybe I can chip it a little bit with Shadow Rush as well. Hopefully we don't get a crit this time. That would suck. Also, yeah, level 35. Not something to probably be fluffing with, eh? I may be wrong on this, but I know for a fact that Colosseum did sort of, mess with some of the Pokemon's catch rates to sort of, make some easier / harder depending on the nature of the fight. So I imagine... So I think that Sudowoodo's catch rate is actually, lower in this game. You know, to make up for the fact that it is essentially a boss fight. I'm not sure if Gale of Darkness did that to this extent, though, but at the same time, it is pretty cool. Yep, I could just stand here. I could just stand here. Almost forgot there for a second. You know what? Let's just go for Hypnosis. Why not? It's about time. Well, I'm getting away that easy. Easy victory. Yeah, so that went surprisingly smoothly, except the Quillfish, which sucks, but I'm sure I can find a means to amend that. Now we just have to wait for this other Ludicolo to fold out in front of us. Not the swiftest way to get it done, but definitely clean.
I can't keep up with the tempo. Oh no, what a no-no. How dare you? Don't you dare think you got away with your latest outrage. One of these days, I'll take the greatest pleasure in kicking you about with my elegant dance steps. Or not giving up our Shadow Pokemon plan. Let's go! Escape!
I'll just...
Tom! Stan, did you hear those cries? It has to be Plusle. I think those cries came from behind that door.
What's this he left behind in his wake? TM49. Keep forgetting which one. Oh, of course it's Snans. Alright, let's see, oh, he's just here behind the spot. And oh, hey, another EN file. What? P. Purification of Pokemon. Shadow Pokemon are fighting machines created by closing the door to their hearts. The process of restoring a Shadow Pokemon back to its original state is known as purification. Exactly how a Shadow Pokemon is purified is unclear. There appear to be several causes. We must eliminate reaction to these facts and complete Shadow Pokemon will never revert back to their original purified forms. And the business we call this foreshadowing. And what could those possibly be in the corner? Kinda neat that we get a Macho Brace this early, even though I'm fairly certain there's no proper way for us to do EV training in this game, so it's kinda moot. Kind of a shame, but it's neat that it's here anyways. Anyways, here is Plus. Stan! Plusle! Oh, Stan, your scythe! Get your scythe! Oh, Plusle! Mirror B got away, but things will be back to normal here. Duking, I don't know what to say. Forget it, Silver, all unarmed. That's good enough. Even that Mirror B's been driven out thanks to Stan. What's this, Plusle? Feeling hungry out of relief? Okay, Stan, let's quit this moldy cavern and quick. Stan, we owe you a great deal. Sincerely thank you. If you were a bit later, Plusle would have been made a Shadow Pokemon. That's horrible.
I'm glad everything's fine, Papa. And Plusle too.
What's the matter, Plusle? Oh, you wanna... Okay, I understand.
Stan, could you take my Plossel with you? Plossel's saying he wants to help you out too.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's wise duking, because it's just going to spend most of its time in the PC box. You know, that's the funny thing about Plossel, actually.
Yes, that's right. You can't let those criminals get away with it. That's amazing. We got a cute and brave addition to our party.
Stan, I'm counting on you. Transfer to the PC.
I intend to investigate the organization behind Mirror B. So if I discover anything, I'll be in touch. Which reminds me, Stan, I need your PDA number. Oh, that's the Pokemon Digital Assistant, or PDA for short. Stan, where's yours? You have to tell Duking your number so he can contact us.
Alright, fine. I hate sharing my number with other people.
Perfect. I'll be in touch as soon as you discover anything.
Well, we may as well have a wee bit of a look at Plus for a second here. May as well have just a wee bit of a look. You again.
I'm sorry, Chief, that's big news. You see, Chief, Mirabee and his underlings have left the town. Huh, Chief? You're not the Chief. I beg your pardon.
Amir Johnson, that story ain't new. I've heard about it over and over already.
Oh, Chief, there you are. You're such a kidder. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I'm just here to look at Plus. I'm not gonna save. There he is, level 13. So already kind of bordering on useless. I mean, it does get helping out at the very least, so you have that, but I'm fairly certain at some point there was a Shadow Minum planned for this game, so at the very least you had a use case for Flossel, but now it's like the only time you would use this thing is in the speedrun, because I know there's sort of a tech where it's quicker to just lose a fight and make trainers despawn than to actually win the fight, so you just get segments where you just feint your Espeon and your Typhlosion, and then you just pull this thing out and just lose the battle instantly. You know, it's a time save is all. Okay, so Sudowoodo also gets the Hard Stone. Gets Sturdy, which is a lot more niche in this game. Kind of a shame we didn't get Rockhead. Ah well, we're not gonna... We get Natural Cure on Swablu, not that it matters, because we're gonna have to go back and do that all over again to get Quillfish. Whatever, though. That can... Oh, what is this? A jail key?
You're being left down? Are you kidding me? You can tell obvious lies, we're still not gonna leave this safe place.
Yeah, I think, now that that's been resolved, that seems like a fairly decent stopping point for now. Obviously, I'm gonna have to go back and do that all over again, but...
Oh, you two there. Why are you bound in such haste?
Oh, it's so weird to see you out of your house for once.
You might be imagining it, but the town's air feels somewhat less dirty. Not all is well. I can feel the presence of black auras coming from shadow Pokemon. Wow, Fantine, nothing escapes your notice. There is but nothing that eludes the notice of my fortune-telling. Key to freeing Pokemon from that black aura. It is in the north. North? That's where my grandpa lives, too. Oh no, I forgot I was on my way to visit Grandpa. He lives in Agate Village, it's north of here. That being maybe no mere coincidence. Your answer may be there. Oh, my grandpa was a famous trainer back when he was young. Maybe my grandpa would know something. Let's go see him.
Well, that seems like a fairly interesting plot hook to leave things off on, so tune in next time when we visit the trainer's retiring home. Presumably where I'm gonna end up at some point. Anyways, I digress. I'll see you next time for more Pokemon Colosseum. Apologies that we didn't really get all that far, but yeah, the Pyro building really is quite a slog. Quite a bit of a slog, so yeah. I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in once again. Bye for now.